Welcome to the deep dive. So today is July 10th, 2025. And the cosmos is really offering us something quite unique today, I think. A chance for, well, some serious introspection, maybe some clarity. We're doing a deep dive into the full moon in Capricorn. It's a pretty powerful celestial event. And it's really all about, self-assessment, shining light on how effective the structures we've built in our lives actually are.
Right, the foundations.
Exactly. We'll be using insights from Tarot by High Seas astrological interpretations, and then we're going to connect it all with this really fascinating ancient tale that seems to echo these exact themes.
That sounds great. Ancient wisdom often has so much to tell us about current energies.
Totally. So our mission today, it's basically to help you unpack what this full moon in Capricorn really means for you. We want to illuminate those areas where you can maybe embrace your true self a bit more, act with integrity, and, align with your deeper purpose.
Finding that aligned.
Yeah. Think of this deep dive as a kind of shortcut, a way to survey what you've started building versus what you perhaps truly intended to create. Hopefully it offers a clearer picture of where you stand and what your next steps might look like.
Makes sense. Getting your bearings.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. This full moon in Capricorn, it kind of wakes us up, doesn't it? To the parts of life where the structures we've set up are either, well, working for us.
Or really not.
Or really not working.
Yeah.
Actively holding us back even. It's like a spotlight on every shortcut that might have led to, I don't know, unstable ground.
Yeah, what's really striking about this moon phase is how precise it can be in clarifying those next steps. It's almost like a cosmic X-ray, It highlights the cracks in the system you've built. Or, conversely, it celebrates the solid consistency you've managed to maintain. It also tends to illuminate this really stark contrast between our public ambitions, what we project outwards, and our often quite hidden private emotional needs.
Ah, that public-private split. So for you listening right now, this planetary alignment might be forcing a kind of, well, vital acknowledgement. Where has that intense drive for achievement maybe hardened, calcified into something? Joyless, an obligation?
It happens so easily, like that passion project that just slowly becomes another item on the to-do list.
Exactly. Tonight, this period offers a really powerful pause, a space between who you've been trying so hard to become and who you actually are deep down.
It is a moment of profound recognition, potentially.
Right.
And this is really the time to get honest with yourself. I mean, truly honest. Are you satisfied with what you've accomplished up to now, especially considering the true cost?
The cost, yeah.
And if the answer is leaning towards no, or even maybe not, this Capricorn energy, it's ruled by Saturn, remember, is uniquely suited to help you pinpoint the structural points where that joylessness crept in.
Structural points?
Yeah.
Like what's...
Well, maybe it's a specific routine you're stuck in, or a commitment you made ages ago that you've totally outgrown, or even just an outdated idea about what success even means that needs a complete overhaul.
That makes so much sense. It's not just feeling unhappy, it's understanding the architecture of the unhappiness, you could say.
Precisely.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. This Capricorn full moon isn't just about critique. It actually presents a genuine opportunity to realize a long-term goal. Like you can really start to see tangible results, maybe feel the rewards of your efforts finally paying off. How does that fit with examining the possibly shaky structures?
Well, it's all connected, isn't it? Achieving those goals under this moon isn't just like random luck. It's usually the culmination of disciplined, consistent effort. So it encourages you to embrace those wins even if other things feel uncertain, because you earned them.
Okay.
And it also pushes you to express your emotional truths, but in a grounded, mature way. That's very Capricorn. There's this idea floating around, collapsing of old timelines under serious emotional weight.
I saw that phrase, yeah. What does that mean practically?
It's not just abstract. It means those long-held patterns, maybe goals you inherited or just clung to for too long, they're now feeling incredibly heavy, unsustainable. And they're demanding a decisive break or maybe a complete renovation. It demands results,
Maturity.
Accountability.
Accountability, definitely.
It really acts as a test of our resilience and, crucially, our integrity.
So it's not just about ditching things, but really understanding why these old ways are collapsing, because they don't serve a real purpose anymore, or they're just too burdensome to keep carrying.
Exactly.
This feels like a profound invitation then to take full responsibility for the path of your soul, your deeper journey, through like tangible service, discipline, aligning with a higher purpose.
Yeah.
You can actually step into a higher level of leadership in your own life.
Absolutely. And the spotlight, it really lands hard on where your goals might be built on shaky foundations like guilt or fear or some, I don't know, outdated definition of success that feels more like punishment than purpose.
Oof. Punishment rather than purpose. That hits home.
Yeah. And this period might also bring some powerful revelations in broader areas, too. Things like government, leadership, established systems, health, collective responsibility.
Okay.
And it's worth noting, just observing what the source material suggests, there's potential for maybe an increase in social or civil unrest as deeper truths surface, particularly around themes of power, inequality, hidden agendas. Again, we're just relaying the themes here, not taking sides. But that idea of accountability and structure definitely plays out on the collective stage too.
That's a really powerful foundation to consider. And it gets even more dynamic, doesn't it, when we factor in Mars? So on top of all that, we also have the full moon in Capricorn trine Mars. Now, a trine aspect, for anyone less familiar, usually signifies a harmonious flow, right? Like supportive energy that makes it easier to integrate these planetary vibes for action.
That's a great point about the trine. It does offer a sort of natural pathway for the energy.
So what does this Mars connection add to the picture? Especially thinking about those old timelines you mentioned collapsing.
Well, this specific alignment, the full moon trine Mars, it tends to intensify karmic storylines. It brings unresolved past patterns right into sharp focus. But because of that harmonious trine support you mentioned, it also provides immense clarity and, importantly, stamina, the energy to actually do something.
Okay. Stamina for decisive action.
Exactly. Decisive, disciplined action. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you see the issue clearly now, here's the energy to tackle it. It's like having both a clear path and the fuel to walk it.
So it's not just the aha moment of realization, but the cosmic nudge, maybe even a shove to act on it.
Definitely a shove for some. There's real pressure here to stop repeating those old cycles and start acting with clear intention.
It really sounds like a window of opportunity for evolutionary growth, as the source put it.
Yeah.
But only if you're willing, right? Willing to let go of the outdated stuff.
Absolutely. Those old power structures, maybe certain behaviors, beliefs that just don't reflect your values anymore.
You have to be ready to release them.
And this Mars energy, it fuels the courage needed for that. You have to be willing and maybe even prepared to take a stand for what you truly believe in, for your most cherished values.
It's about consciously building something new, something more authentic.
Yeah.
Brick by disciplined brick.
Backed by that focused Mars determination, yes.
Wow. It's truly remarkable how these cosmic patterns seem to echo through history, through stories. In fact, if we look towards ancient wisdom, we find these narratives that mirror these exact themes: structure, integrity, transformation.
It's uncanny sometimes.
Let's dive into one now. The tale of KHENTI'S ascent and the weighing of the forgotten hours. It's an ancient narrative, apparently set during the full moon of Geb, which later became known as Capricorn, and it feels like such a powerful mirror to everything we've just discussed.
It really is striking how these ancient stories often encapsulate universal truths. Just picture the setting for a moment. An age where, the stars were believed to whisper guidance, the Nile River carried prayers towards the underworld or spiritual realm. And this unseen balance between Mamat, that principle of cosmic order, truth, justice, and Svet, chaos, injustice, falsehood, was constantly being tested right there in people's hearts.
Okay, so who's our hero? Our protagonist is KHENTI. He's described as a humble stonecutter, just weary from decades of hard labor. And he had this long-held dream to build a shrine to Sishat. She was the goddess of wisdom, writing, measurement, important stuff.
Foundational stuff, you might say.
Exactly. But there was a major conflict, and this echoes our themes of corrupt structures perfectly. The governors, the priests, their hearts had apparently grown as heavy as obsidian with fear and the hunger for control.
Wow, what a phrase.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And they forbade building sanctuaries to gods like Sishat, gods that didn't directly serve their grip on power. They feared the wisdom she represented.
Control versus wisdom, a classic battle.
So as the full moon rose, that Capricorn moon like a silver eye watching, something pretty amazing happened. Thoth, the great scribe, the recorder of all things, and Sekhmet, the powerful lady of flame and divine wrath, they appeared to KHENTI in a vision. A divine intervention.
You could say that? Thoth spoke first, his voice described like the turning of countless papyrus scrolls.
Incredible imagery.
Isn't it? He says, "O mortal, the time of reckoning comes, old walls shall fall, and those who built towers of fear shall see them crumble." And then he adds this crucial part, linking right back to our accountability theme. The scales of Ma'at weigh not merely hearts, but the very hours of forgotten deeds.
Wow. The forgotten hours, not just big actions.
Every moment counts, apparently. Then Sekhmet, her eyes like twin suns, commands Kenti. You are to stand before the assembly and speak the truths buried by cowardice and greed, and she adds this powerful bit, directly connecting to our Mars discussion. Fear not the blades of men, for Mars, called Sa Sekem back then, burns beside the moon this night, lending courage to those who bear the weight of destiny.
Goosebumps. That direct link to Mars giving courage. So Kenti, emboldened by this vision, this cosmic backup, he actually did it. That night, he climbed the dais. His voice, apparently quite clear, spoke of the corrupted temples, the sickened harvests, the vital need to honor the gods of wisdom and balance, like Seshat.
Took incredible courage.
Absolutely. And the reaction, it was profoundly mixed. Some people were calling for his death, obviously threatened, but others reportedly wept as if some ancient buried truth had suddenly been remembered. Like that collective click we talked about, those collapsing old timelines.
Exactly, that moment of mass realization. And then look up. Above them, the full moon and Mars really did align in the sky, and the people saw it as a great sign. The source mentions the collapsed visage of a serpent-faced idol, seen as a symbol of the hidden tyranny that had been draining the land's vitality.
Whoa.
And then the earth literally trembled. Ancient structures of false power cracked, echoing those personal and societal structures we discussed. And Sekhmet's flame symbolically passed over the crowd, burning away illusions.
A dramatic cleansing. A revelation mirroring what the astrology suggested could happen on a larger scale.
A very potent mirror.
And then Isis, the great mother of magic, she descends in a cloak of starlight, apparently, and whispers this profound truth. It resonates so deeply with Kenti's act and with our own journey. Each soul is weighed not by the crowns it wears, but by the truths it dares to speak.
Chills. It's all about integrity, isn't it? In the aftermath, Kenti wasn't made a king. He didn't even seek power. He simply became known as a voice of Ma'at, a keeper of sacred measures. His role was teaching that true leadership isn't about control, it's about serving the divine will, serving the good of the people, not serving the hungers of mortal fear.
Serving purpose, not fear.
Precisely. And the story concludes with this idea that every year, on the full moon of Geb, that Capricorn full moon, the veil between the old and the new thins out. The deeds of the past weigh heavily on the present. So the wise would offer prayers to Ma'at, seek clarity from Thoth, burn cleansing herbs like cedar and myrrh, a reminder of these enduring cycles.
Wow. What a powerful story to accompany this astrological moment. So let's try and tie this all together. What does this mean for you listening today? We've journeyed through the astrological insights of this July 10th, 2025, full moon in Capricorn. We've looked at the structures, the potential for reward, the Mars-fueled action, and we've connected it to the timeless lessons from Kenti's tale. This whole deep dive has really been about encouraging you to recognize where your own personal structures stand. You know, those career paths, relationships, core beliefs, and honestly assessing if they truly serve your highest self, your deepest truth.
It's about embracing that authenticity.
Yes, and taking full responsibility for your path. Finding the courage, maybe Mars-fueled courage, to speak your truth and live with integrity, whether that's just in your personal day-to-day life or in the bigger systems you interact with.
And that ancient wisdom, it leaves us with such a powerful concluding thought, doesn't it? It ties everything together perfectly. The soul that chooses discipline, integrity, and purpose rises beyond kingship to become eternal in the field of reeds. That's their vision of paradise, essentially.
Beyond kingship. Eternal.
So we invite you to just sit with that. Consider how this profound truth resonates with your own ambitions, your own goals, the path you're currently forging. What does it truly mean for you right now to build a legacy? Not one of fleeting power or status, but one of enduring purpose and unwavering integrity.